Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and The Question, issue number 1, I believe of 3. It's a DC Black Label. That Black Label, there it is, right up top there. And this the book's so nice, got to buy it twice because look at that variant cover. My God, this is a beautiful book, my peeps. This is a beautiful book. All right, let's get talking about that. I'm gonna tell you 5 things about this book. First, I should probably tell you about this. So, the people who made this. So this is The Question, The Deaths, plural, of Vic Sage. Book 1, Jeff Lemire on writing. Hello. Dennis Cohen on pencils. Hi. Bill Sienkiewicz on ink. What's up, brother? Chris Sotomayor on colors. Nice. Willie Schubert on letters. All those guys made the cover, and the variant cover is by Jeff Lemire and Marcelo Maiolo. This is dedicated to Steve Ditko and Denny O'Neil, who are the creators of The Question. And realistically, the Question is realistically just a creation of Steve Ditko because, several months before he created The Question, he solo created Mr. A, which is the pinnacle of his work, meaning his objectionist ideas, that's who he is. That's who the ideal superhero for him. All of his superheroes were meant to be at least something similar to that. So yeah, I know Denny O'Neil did a lot of work on this. God bless you, brother. But yeah, this is really a Steve Ditko character. Anyway, let's get talking about this, guys. Number 1 on here. The opening pages, the opening storyline seems to be dedicated to Jeffrey Epstein. I got a good laugh. Off a very touchy, messed up subject. But this is who Jeff Lemire is. You know what I'm saying? I'm positive that he did this child sex ring and whatnot very pointedly because of what's going on in the news. All right? So kudos to you, Mr. Lemire. Definitely kudos to you. Let's talk about mind you, before we get to that, it really gives a moment to know who the question is. What do I mean by that? Let's talk about number 2, all right? That perfect transition. This is The Question. If you have any doubts about who The Question is, get this book because it will tell you who he is, all right? All these other characters that were based off of him or made about him in some ways, like Rorschach and things like that, nah, brah. This is the deal. This right here is the real deal, all right? He is a character who is objectionist. He's very black and white. There are no shades of gray with this character. You're either good or you're evil. There is no convoluted because if you're a good person, you know the line that separates good from evil. Okay? There's all that evil over there, and then there's the good. All right? Very upfront, very like that. Now, mind you, Jeff Lemire, the person writing this book, he makes sure that he points out where that could be going wrong, which is a good thing. All right, we don't need anybody who's just on one side of the fence or the other. You know what I'm saying? We don't need people with ultimatums on every single thing they do. No, if you have ketchup on your cheeseburger, you're evil. That's not necessarily true, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? I like ketchup on my cheeseburger. Of course, steak sauce tastes good also. And Thousand Island dressings don't even get me started. You're only evil if you put mayonnaise on there. I'm joking. I've had mayonnaise on a burger too. It's pretty good. Mustard. I like condiments. Anyway, let's get talking about number 3 on this list. There's a signet ring that appeared. It has to do with the Hub City Elder Society. Ooh, man, if you're going to make a question book, you got to have a question story. And that's what happens in here. This is a mystery. Have you ever looked at comic books and just get tired, just like, bro, I'm going to go on to the independent scene, you know what I'm saying? Forget about the big 2, because they don't have any good murder mystery books. Like, not really. Batman should be that, right? Yeah, he should, but he's not. He's just not, because nobody really comes up with great murder mystery ideas for Batman. But the question... The problem is not enough people have been writing the question because not enough people can write the question. As soon as I saw that Jeff Lemire was going to be writing this and the Joker book, I'm just like, yeah, the Joker, cute. I'm sure it's going to be really good. But I can't wait to see his version of the question. Yeah, and it was totally worth the wait. Can't wait for the next issues now. Let's get talking about number 4 on this list. Richard Dragon shows up. Oh man, look, this book is a perfect blending of the Charlton Comics version of the question, and later on when DC, well, you know what they do, they buy out their competition all the time. But when he came over to DC, it was a very different version of the question, right? Well, You get both versions in this. Are there 2 questions? No, there's only one, technically. But that being said, you get a good blend of both. Both of their histories are in here. And the idea that Richard Dragon was in this book was just like, that's the one. That's the part that actually bridges that gap between the Charlton comics and the DC comics. Freaking A+ job right there, Lemire. Damn good A+ job. Mr. A+ job, if you will. A is A. Let's talk about number 5 on this list, and that is, this is actually a really good jumping on point. Don't have any idea who the question is except for the ramblings that I just gave? Right here. See these books? Yeah. This is Mr. A. And this is Mr. A. This is the question. You can get these books and you will be very pleased with this character. I don't think anybody's going to read this and not like this story. It genuinely gets into the murder mystery feel. You'll be reading this at one point and be like, oh my God, this is a really good book. Whoa, hey, if you've never read Jeff Lemire before, oh, have I got a treat for you. Just go down to your local comic book store, pick this puppy up. All right, let's cover price on this so you all know. Oh, ages 17+. This is not meant for under 17, so that Choppa thing or whatever. Yeah, $6.99 US cover price. That ain't bad. For a double-sized comic book, magazine style, yeah, ask your comic book store if they've got the magazine covers, the Mylar bags for it, and the boards to back these up, because they exist, I should say, the magazine style. And if they don't, tell your comic book store, you are selling Black Label books, right? These giant-sized magazines, I want to put them in bags and boards, so make sure you do that. Am I going to say this is the best of the Black Label books out so far? Well, issue 2 and 3 haven't dropped yet. But I will say, yeah, it just might be. I'm a huge fan of the question. I'm a huge fan of the murder mystery story, and you just don't get those in DC anymore. But they've got Jeff Lemire. So they pretty much got it. This is a great addition to the Black Label books. I am beyond excited. The hardest part is which one to get. I just went with both. I'd probably go with this one, though. Just saying. These were really good books, guys. Really good book. This was a good book. Definitely consider checking this out. Do not sleep on this one. You will kick yourself in the butt if you do not pick this book up. That being said, guys, I am out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.